Hello, my name is Syed Khunmir Azmi, and today I am going to present my very first project from EdYoda. The project is on library management system. First, we will walk through the use case diagram, then the class diagram, followed by a flowchart which explains the behavior of issue and return of a book between two actors, member and a librarian, and in last, we will see the coding part of my project. Stay tuned, it's an amazing project, and I'm doing this project under the guidance of Mohit Chauhan sir. I really appreciate his efforts in teaching me Python. So we'll move on to the use case diagram. What is a use case diagram? A use case diagram basically consists of a number of actors and n number of use cases. Here use cases are the functionalities which are available in the software. In my project, I have three actors: member, system, and a librarian. The member actor can borrow a book, return a book, can give a feedback, can see his user info, can search for a book, and the librarian actor can add a book, remove a book, add book item for the respected book, remove book item, add a user, remove a user, display books, can search the availability of a book, can see the details of a user. Whereas the system actor is involved in borrow of a book, return of a book. We will see this in a flow chart: return and borrow of a book, and all the details of the books which are available in the library are stored in a database. And whenever the member or a librarian wants to check the availability of a book, they need to access the system, and in that case the system actor comes into play. That is the role of system in searching of a book. Now we'll move on to the class diagram. What is a class diagram? Class diagram consists of all the classes present in the system. Here the first partition describes the number of variables, data members present in the class, and the second partition shows the methods, functions, behaviors which are present in a specific class. I have five classes in my project: book item, book, catalog, librarian, and member. And these are all the data members in the first partition, and in the second partitions there are all the member functions, methods. Now we'll move to the flow chart. The flow chart basically describes the flow of control from the start to the end, from the start to the stop. Here I have prepared a flow chart where a member requests for a book and return of a book. And how does the flow of control goes when the member requests for a book and when the member return a book. Now we'll consider the request for a book. From the start, there is a member who is requesting for a book. Now the system checks whether the book is available or not. If the book is available, then the book is granted to the member and the control stops. And if the book is not available, then the control goes to no, and book is not available is printed. Now consider this return a book use case. When the member returns a book, the system checks whether the book is valid or not. It is based on many criteria. For example, I will share three things. The system will check whether the book actually belongs to the library. If it belongs, it is accepted. If not, it is not accepted. The system checks whether the book is damaged or not. If it is damaged, it is not accepted. If it is okay, fine, then it is accepted. If the member is submitting or returning a duplicate copy, then it is not accepted by the librarian. It is directly rejected. It is not accepted. If the user is submitting the original copy which he had borrowed, then it is accepted. When the control goes to stop, this is the flowchart of issue and return of a book. Now we'll move to the coding part of my project. There are 5 classes. This is the book item class. There are 3 instance variables. This is the init method. For creating an object of this book item class, it is mandatory for us to pass this book name, ISBN, and rack as a parameter while creating the object of book item class. These parameters will be assigned to these instance variables, and the object is created. Same goes with book class. In the book class, I am importing the book item class from the book item module. And there is a book class. There are 2 static variables. This is a static. These 2 are static variables. These are 4 instance variables. For creating an object of book class, it is mandatory for us to pass these 4 things as parameters. And only after that the object of this book class will be created. There are plenty of functions available in the book class, like add book item, print book item, search by name, search book item, remove book item, info method, remove all book items, REPR method. The REPR method returns only the specific properties of a given object. For example, here we have name, author, published date, pages, total count, book item, things of an object. For example, I will give a definition for instance variable. Each and every object maintains a separate copy of instance variable. For if you consider 3 objects, obj1, obj2, obj3, each of these objects will maintain a separate copy of these instance variable. These are 4 instance variable. Okay, each and every object maintains a separate copy of them. So for an object, when I want to print an object, which properties of that object should be printed, that is decided by this REPR method. Only the name and author properties are being displayed when we print the object of this book class, and the rest of these 2 properties like publish date and the pages will be abstract. This is the concept of object oriented programming, where only necessary which displays only necessary information and hide the unnecessary details. Okay, now we'll move to the user module. In the user module, we are importing the catalog class catalog class from the catalog module and book class from the book module. In the user class, there is an init method. So in order to create an object of user class, it is mandatory for us to pass this name, location, age, Aadhaar ID as parameter. And there is a member class which is extending this user class. There is a relationship, inheritance relationship between this user and member class, where the user class is the super class base class, and the member class is the derived class, subclass, or child class. The child class has features of all the base class. All this name, location, age, Aadhaar ID are inherited by this member class, as well as the child class can also have additional features. Student ID, it's the additional feature what the student child class can have. There's a static list variable. Here there's a REPR method which displays only the necessary information which is required instead of displaying all the details. There are plenty of methods available in this member class. The member can borrow a book, return a book. The member can return a book. He can provide feedback to the system. The member can view his details. He can search for a book. And there's a librarian class which is extending the user class. So all the features of user class will be inherited by this librarian class. as well as it can have its additional features. There is REPR method, which displays only the required properties of an object when printed. And this is the add method, remove method. The librarian can add book, remove book, add book item, remove book item, add user, remove user, can see the details of each and every user by using the SID, can search for a book, can display all the books, can print the details of a particular book using the name of the book. He can print the details, complete details of a given book. Now we'll move to this catalog module. In the catalog module, I am importing the book class from the book module and the book item class from the book item module. In the catalog class, we have a static variable, a static list variable books, and a static variable different book count. There's a add book method, add book item method, search by name, search by author, display all books, remove book items, remove book. These are all the methods from the 4 classes. Now we'll move to the test functions. Okay, so the first function what we are testing is from the catalog class. In order to invoke the methods present in the catalog class, we have to create an object of catalog class. Here we have to create an object of this catalog class, and using using the object we can invoke the method, a respective method. The add book method takes 4 things as parameters: name, author, publish date, and pages. So here we have to pass 4 things as parameters in order to invoke the method. Let's execute. Operating system book has been added. Now for adding the book items for that respective operating system book, we have to create an object of book class. This is the book class. For creating an object of book class, we have to pass the name, author, publish date, pages as parameters. That's what we are doing here. And for invoking this add book item method, we have to pass the book name, ISBN, and rack. We are passing the name, ISBN, rack. Let's execute it. Have a look here. Operating system book has been added. Operating system, one book item has been added. One book item has been added. I've combined the functionalities of both these things into a single module. Have a look here. Adding a new book along with the book items. Let's add operating system as well as the database management system book. Operating system book has been added and the respective book items. Database management system book has been added. In order to display all the books available in the library, we use this display all method. It belongs to the catalog class. Display all method belongs to catalog class. Let's execute. It prints all the details of books available in the library, operating system, and the respective ISBN rack number. And the total book items of operating system book is 3. There are 3 book items, so the count is 3. There are 2 book items, so the count is 2 for the database management system. Okay. For creating an object of member class, you have to pass these things as parameters: name, location, age, Aadhaar ID, and student ID. And for librarian, it is same except student ID, we have to pass the EMP ID. So here when we print the details, only the student name, location, student ID is been displayed, whereas the age, Aadhaar ID has been abstract. Only the necessary information has been displayed, and irrelevant data which is not required, which is not necessary, has been hidden from the user. This is called abstraction. Same applies for the librarian object. Searching book by its name. It belongs to catalog class. Therefore, we are creating an object of catalog. Okay. We are invoking the search by name method using catalog object. If the book exists, it returns the book. This book does not exist. There's missing M. Let me write M. If the book exists, it returns search book is operating system as well as the author. If the book does not exist, it returns none. Removing a book item. Using this method, we can remove a book item. Before invoking this remove book item method, the total book item count of OS was 3. Okay. After removing, this message is been printed. One book item has been removed for operating system, and the total count has been reduced to 2. Okay. If we apply the same for database management system, the total book count for DBMS is 2. Okay. So after executing it, let's see what will be the count. The total count has been reduced to 1. The members can borrow book, and for borrowing they have to pass the name of the book, ISBN number, and the number of days for which they want to borrow. If they let's see the function itself. For borrowing a book, the user should pass the name, ISBN, and the number of days. If the user does not provide date parameter, this is the default value assigned to the parameter, default parameter. If the user is borrowing if the user is borrowing for less than 5 days, then the book is not granted. If the user is borrowing for more than 15 days, then in that case also the book is now not granted to the member. For borrowing a book, the minimum number of days should be more than 5, that is 6, and maximum is 15. Less than that or more than that, the book is not allowed. So let's execute it. This is for the first one, 100 days. Book cannot be borrowed for requested days 100. And when I don't provide the days, operating system book is borrowed for requested days 10. I provided 10 as a parameter here, default parameter here. When the user is requesting for a book for 12 days, it is granted to him. Yes. Where even for 15 days, it is granted. So after that, the number of book items have been reduced. From 3, it has become 1. From 2, it has become 1. Okay. Return a book. Let's keep this as it is. When the student is returning a book, he has to specify the name of the book. If the book is valid, it prints valid book returned by the member, accepted, and the book item is added. In case if the user is returning the book which does not belong to the library, then invalid book returned by the member, not accepted, is printed. Okay. The librarian can add a book. Let's add this Avenger named book. Avenger book has been added, and I'm adding 2 book items for that Avenger book. It has been added. When I display all books, operating system, DBMS, and Avengers book has also been included along with ISBN and rack number. Using this remove book method, we can remove the book as well as its associated book items. Okay, let's remove the operating system method. Operating system book has been removed. Let's print display all book method to check whether it exists or not. Look here, it is removed. For this method, it has been removed. So when I print display all method, I have only DBMS and Avengers. Operating system is not there, so it removed the book as well as its associated book items. If we do the same for DBMS, DBMS book has been removed. So when I invoke this display method, OS is available, Avenger is available. Okay, I can even remove one items of operating system. Librarian can remove one item of the operating system. Yeah, operating system one book item has been removed using this remove book item method. The librarian can even add new users in the system. After adding, the student ID is been displayed. Student ID has been added. Okay. He can even remove the users. User has been removed. User has been removed. If the librarian wants to remove a user which does not exist in the library, which does not who is not registered in the library, then user does not exist is printed. If the user does not exist in the student list variable, that is printed. The user can even provide the feedback to the library. The feedback is printed. This is the M1. M1 is the object of member class. Member can provide the feedback. The member can see his user details. Let me add this user. If the user exists, then the details of that user is been printed, each and everything. If the user does not exist, this user does not exist with the student ID, then user does not exist is printed. Searching a book. The user can even search for a book using the book name. If the book is available, then the book available along with the details of the book is printed. If the book is not available in the library, like discrete mathematics is not available in library, only Avengers, operating system and DBMS is available. Discrete mathematics is not available, so sorry, discrete mathematics does not exist is printed. The librarian can even check the details of a particular user using this method. If the user exists, then the details are printed. Otherwise, user does not exist is printed. The librarian can even search for a book using the by passing the name of the book as parameter. If the book exists, then the details of the book is printed. Otherwise, sorry, the book does not exist as printed. The librarian can even display all the books available in the library. These are all the books, OS, as well as its rack number, ISBN number, DBMS, and Avengers book with its associated ISBN and rack number. The librarian can even check the details of a given book using this print a book method. When the user prints, the details of the operating system book is being printed. Same implies for the database management system book. If the user prints, the details of DBMS is printed. If the book does not exist, then the book does not exist is printed, none is returned. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you Mohit sir for training me and making me capable of doing this project. Thanks a lot.